I love hearing stories just about like how people like to come up. I just love hearing inspiring stories. We live in the DMV area, and we have a plethora amount of different unique talents in it. Talk to me. Welcome to the Talk to Me podcast. I'm your host, Don Worm, and as you can see, I have my lovely co-host, Marcina. How you doing?
Good. How's it going?
All right. We also have an unfamiliar face. Hopefully, he will be familiar the most. He's the co-founder of Hearts of Empowerment, which is a nonprofit organization, and he goes by Correy Faciane. How you doing, my guy?
Hey, man, I'm good. Blessed, man. How y'all doing? Y'all good?
Good. How's this COVID been treating you? Pretty good? Chill?
Yeah, I mean, man, as good as I can be doing. Been trying to even stay out the way. You know, we're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
Right. Supposed to be.
You know, all of that.
Yeah, staying low.
Mm-hmm.
That's the key word, supposed to be. In the country out here wilding. All right. So like I said, you're founder of the nonprofit House of Empowerment. Could you give us a quick description of like what are some of your like duties and what do you guys do as far as your nonprofit organization?
So we are a 501c3 nonprofit. So we're federally regulated, which is pretty cool. We used to be at the state level. Now we're at the federal level. But essentially what we do is we do event planning and strategic consulting for smaller nonprofit organizations. So we actually take care of all the event planning aspect of stuff. We specialize in fundraising and bringing awareness to struggling nonprofits or nonprofits that are, having a tough time pushing through that threshold. We try to partner with them and kind of amplify their mission. So it's a little confusing because we're the only nonprofit that does what we do. But at the same time, it's really unique in the fact that we like much just because we're not boxed really with one cause. We're able to do whatever we can to help out.
Yeah.
And you was asking about my duties, right?
Yeah. Because like majority of the time, like when you hear like founder or like president, I wouldn't say most, but some people are like, all right, so what does that entail? You know what I'm saying? Because it's not like a I do help desk. You know what I'm saying? It's not a specific job. Like I was just wondering, I guess, a few things what you do type shit.
Yeah, so I'm in charge of like the external stuff. So really what I do is I try to actually go out and get the partnerships. So a lot of times now we've actually, started to scale in the way where nonprofits and stuff are finding out about us organically, whether it be through social media or just word of mouth or whatever. But a lot of times I'm reaching out to these nonprofits and I'm seeing kind of what their needs are, seeing if we could provide it for them. And kind of I'm really, trying to hone in on this partnership aspect of it, making sure that, I'm representing the organization first. I'm always the one that, they know first, or you know what I'm saying? It's like the person that's always going to be like okay, you're introducing me to the rest of the team, like that type of stuff. So that's really what my day to day is. It's just meeting after meeting after meeting, trying to establish, a calendar type of campaigns or events all the way through, 2021 at this point. So consistently doing that.
That's inspirational. Like you guys as a nonprofit, picking up other nonprofits that are like kind of trying to get to the threshold and stuff. And you mentioned like a lot of partnerships. How many partnerships has Hearts of Empowerment done so far?
So the first year we did 7. This year we're at 9 already. But this is the thing too, is that obviously we can't do events right now. So we've kind of taken a pivot to more of like campaigns that you'll see, like a longer standing campaign. And so we'll start out with one partner. Sometimes we add another partner to the same campaign. Now we're actually, they're like hand out free food and everything. So we've kind of like, we're wilding in the fact where, it's not even really nonprofits that we're partnering with right now. We're kind of just stepping up as a community leadership that we kind of stood up for. And so now we're trying to help out. And that's why you'll see us partner with so many people.
Speaking of partnerships and stuff like that,
I seen like on Instagram, I believe, I'm not gonna guess what you guys were doing, but I seen you with Landon Collins. How was that? Or how'd you land that? That was pretty dope. I was like, what? My God,
Yeah,
amazing.
nah, that was
It's like,
nah, I mean, it was a huge milestone for us, you know, growing up as a Redskins fan or a football team fan, whatever you want
yeah,
to call them now. Yeah, and so pretty much what, you know, he was on the Giants and stuff, obviously, but he's like a pretty renowned name in the league, you know. So for us, really what happened was we partnered with an organization, Empower Moms, which we were feeding single mothers
yep,
groceries, doing grocery delivery stuff. And essentially what happened is their nonprofit was pretty, you know, they were just trying to get off the ground and stuff. But she had established several relationships before through just doing community projects, not really anything that, you know, was super formal or a full organization, but, you know, you just want to volunteer and get active and stuff. So it really ended up happening where she was actually in some neighborhood or something. Either she lived there or she was in there, and pretty much Landon and her kind of developed some type of friendship, I should say. And so we didn't even know that going in, right? And she didn't even like ever think that he would be a part of any of her community projects or whatever. And she was a new founder, so she didn't even really shoot her shot at that. But one of the things that we pride ourselves in is like, only thing that we release is going to be professional type content. So even if you're a nonprofit that may not think you have it going on,
yeah.
from the outside, people are going to think so, because now you know, oh, you putting up professional photos now, you got videos now, like what's going on?
Talk your
Yeah,
shit then,
so
okay?
so pretty much what happened was you start to see the content switch up and stuff, and it really gets people excited. So actually Landon, she shared something and Landon reached out, and he was like, man, single mothers mean a lot to me. And I wanna hop on this campaign, take it to the next level. So it was dope.
So Corey, when you were just talking about Landon Collins, would you say that was one of the biggest achievements for Hearts of Empowerment? And if not, what do you think has been your biggest achievement thus far?
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely tight for sure. I wouldn't say it was the biggest achievement. I think the amount of money that we've been raising for these organizations is probably our biggest achievement. Our first year, we raised $115,000, and that was like 1 year, you know, in the nonprofit space. This year, we're projected to do even more. We'll probably hit like 150,000 money
During
raised
quarantine. That's
during
big.
quarantine. So it's like, that's probably our biggest accomplishment so far. It's just, you know, we talked that we're able to fundraise for these nonprofits and stuff, and the numbers are showing that, you know, what we're doing is really starting to work. So I would say that's definitely probably the biggest accomplishment.
Sure. So like for those that don't know or just watching this podcast and don't really know either of us two, me and Corey went to the same college in VCU. Met him at VCU, yada yada yada. But I'm a type of person, like if I see someone that has a good amount of traits that's similar to me, I try to like see how we relate. So basically, I'm gonna tie this all into a question. So like, I feel like we grew up very similar. Like we played sports our whole life. We came from a good family. Our parents are, you know, somewhat wealthy, and all that jazz. You know, we're social. A lot of people like us, light skin, all that good stuff, right? And I had an idea of, you know, start my nonprofit, and then it just never happened. I just wanted to know, like, with your childhood, or, you know, just with your upbringing, do you think you can go back and probably like, basically, I want to know, like, what made you, I guess, you know, want to start your nonprofit? You get what I'm saying? Like, we'll keep it there.
Yeah. Tying it to like upbringing for sure.
Yeah.
I think that, yeah, it's definitely something that was instilled in me at a young age.
Yeah.
But I don't think it was necessarily the fact of like, do I want to start this, you know, a nonprofit? What even is a nonprofit? Any of that type of stuff. I just knew that like my purpose, I felt like, was serving at such a young age. So even if it was handing a water bottle to my sister, right, because there was only one left and I was giving it to her, or something along those lines, I was just always raised that like giving is the best way. to receive on the back end, and receiving in the fact of like fulfilling your purpose. So for me, I think that that's really what got it going. But I started getting bored of doing the same stuff. Like my parents would bring me to different volunteer events and things like that. And, it'd be all right. Right. But how many times can you pick up trash off the street, or, at 8 a.m. after you were up, playing video games with your boys last night? Like, you know what I mean? You kind of get a sour taste in doing that. Yeah. So, I kind of stepped away from the volunteering in that aspect. But I knew that the giving nature was still always going to be there. So I kind of tried to tie it into, what I was going to do with my future. And, I'm sure that we'll probably get into later, like a little bit about my background and my story and like the medical field, and thinking that that's where I was supposed to be, and tying it into, the whole giving aspect of stuff. But I think as far as like forming a nonprofit from it, and not my upbringing, I was just always taught to be giving. And I think that that's kind of where, is instilled in my brain to just keep going and give, and you'll receive on the back end.
For sure. It's funny that you said the little bit about, you at one point wanted to pursue your, I guess, medical passion, or, I believe it was a doctor at one point. Yeah. You wanted to be a doctor. Yeah. Cause I remember you was telling me about it, and you was telling me how I believe your uncle or something like that worked for Georgetown.
I had a grandfather that did like medical research for Howard.
Okay. Because I was like, man, he got all this going for him. Because you was telling me, I was like hyped for you. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
Whatever the case may be, what you're doing now is amazing. And if you were to go to Howard and pursue your doctorate degree and all that stuff, that would have been amazing too. I didn't know if you wanted to get into that. That's why I didn't ask. But if you want to, let's get into that. You know what I'm saying?
Do the whole thing while we're here,
Yeah.
All right.
So like, what happened with that? What led you to starting your own nonprofit? Because that wasn't the goal at first.
Yeah, it wasn't the goal at first. Yeah, it was not the goal at first. And the craziest part about all this is that like I was so deep in the medical field that how sometimes you feel stuck, right? Like if I turn away now, or if I stop now, like it's too late to make that pivot. You know what I'm saying? You're like, all right, well now I gotta start, where am I gonna live? Like now you gotta start thinking about your future as far as like money wise and children and a wife and like all that stuff, right? So it's just so crazy to think about it, like reflecting on it now, because really how Hearts of Empowerment started was just parties, bro, like parties at VCU, right? And it was like I threw a party. You guys remember? Y'all remember the senior send-off? I think both of y'all were there.
Yeah, I think we were there. Oh, were you the one who kind of put it together?
It was his shit, yeah.
Yeah.
It was okay.
Yeah. So that's kind of where Hearts of Empowerment's like root, like all of it started. But I was still pursuing medical stuff at that point, and there was no cause behind the senior send-off. So I'll explain that too. So pretty much we just made the Facebook group, right? We invited everybody because we were all leaving. And we were like, we're gonna part ways. When's the next time all of us is gonna be like on campus and wanna, be able to get together? And so, Dom, I remember you and I were talking about it, bro. Remember we was talking about so everybody in the fraternity world and Greek life and stuff was hanging out. And then we always were the ones that were hanging out with everybody, right? It didn't matter like what it was. So it was like, yo, if you're not in Greek life, like who knows if you've ever dressed up and got flat and went to a move before, all right? So let's throw the red carpet on it. Like, let's make it, bring a date function type of thing. And they hit to the point where like, there was no cause behind it, right? People still were coming. I think we were charging like $80 a couple or something, which is kind of OD in college, if you think about it.
It was an open bar. Like what?
That is true.
Yeah, facts. But still,
that was OD, and the spot was no one's ever been there.
Talk about that spot real quick.
2 floors, like people ain't gonna forget that joint. That was fun.
Nah, yeah, that was definitely so. Anyway, so we, everyone wanted to come, and we were collecting all this money and stuff, and there was no cause, and no one ever asked where the money was going or anything, right? Everybody was just like, yo, I want to have fun, I want to drink. So they just started, paying. And so I was on a scholarship at VCU, and I remember that I was getting like a stipend to go there. So essentially,
I didn't know all that.
Yeah, bro. So when I got I was getting all this money, bro, I was like, okay, the venues paid off, all the alcohol's paid off, and we still had like something stupid left over. I think it was like,
I don't even want to hear the
yeah,
money.
it was, yeah.
I don't even want to hear. Don't piss me off.
we had some money left over. And
Yeah, let's keep it there.
Bro, I'm like looking, I'm like, yo, we don't need this bread, bro. Like, this is OD, you know what I'm saying? I was like, oh, we're wilding. So I was like, man, but there might be something to this, right? Like, what if somebody else needs this money, but doesn't know how to get it? I was like, here we are, like we're definitely blessed in the fact that we're okay without it. What if there's a cause or somebody like that could use a donation at this time?
Sure.
So then when that's where the idea kind of came from, is like, what if we can bring these people together, throw something that millennials will have fun at, and then raise the money and donate it to somebody else to keep their doors open. So that's kind of that whole start, right? But at that time, like, I just wanted to do it that one time and just kind of keep it moving, because I knew in the back of my mind when I graduated, I was going to med school, and that this is kind of cool, but it's going to have to be a side thing, right? Like, I'm going to try to establish myself first. And then, when this happens, it happens. It's pretty much I started pursuing that. And I actually gained admittance to probably like 14 different med schools after I applied.
Gotcha.
And so I was like, oh, am I really about to do this? Like, I'm about to dive into this medical field thing. But at the back of my mind, I was like, man, I had so much fun throwing that party, like raising this money, getting to see the smile on these people's faces as I'm donating. I was like, I'm still make sure that I can still do that as I'm trying to, be in school. That was not going to work, right? You're in med school, you're studying like 60, 70, 80 hours a week. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Easy.
There's no way.
Imagine that's going to change my major.
It's not going to work. So I ended up giving it a try, though. And it was something that I thought I was passionate about, the medical field, but I just remember like I couldn't concentrate, bro. Like, I was like, there's so much more that I should be doing right now than in this textbook. And like, I felt like my purpose was really to do what I had just done by writing those checks to those organizations. Like, I had never felt, any other type of way. And so I was like, man, I got to explore this option a little bit more. So I actually started looking into what a nonprofit was and stuff like that. And no one really knows about this stuff. But honestly, the first time that I was in school, and the first time that I applied to like start a nonprofit through the state, I got denied.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they were like, your idea is not well-rounded enough.
And this was off the strength, like by yourself, or you had junior? Okay.
By myself. Wait, so sorry, can I interrupt? So what are the reasons that they can deny you? For the reason not being good enough, or what else?
Yeah, so like pretty much if you're like, especially with something like how Hearts of Empowerment is like all over the place, right? They've never seen anything like that. So like, okay, I need more clarification, right? On top of that, I was by myself. So they're like, you need at least 3 directors with you, right? Which kind of brings me to my next point of like reapplying and adding a couple more people, which was Junior and Will. And that's how we're all co-founders now. But initially, it's really the cause has to make sense, right? You have to have 3 directors. And then on top of that, there's a whole bunch of other like signature stuff and paperwork that you have to check out with, just so they can make sure that there's no like, all right, exactly where your money's going to be spent. Like, what does the budgeting look like? All that stuff that I had no idea, because I was studying medicine my whole life. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't really know business things. So it was just like off the whim, and I like regretted it because they were like, this ain't it.
I got you. And you felt like, damn, I'm not worthy.
Yeah, I'm like, it's a nonprofit, bro. Like, I'm trying to give back.
I'm trying to help the people. Like, help me help the people, god damn it.
Yeah, like, y'all are wilding. So I got curved, and I was like, all right, well, then I'm supposed to be in medicine. Like, this is where I'm supposed to be. You know what I'm saying?
Got you.
Miss yourself, kind of.
Yeah, exactly. It was like, because where I was supposed to be, I thought like, all right, cool. If it's supposed to be, then like we'll deal with it then. And they curved me. So then, I was going through school or whatever, still blown. And that's like being in the medical field. You can't be mad to be there. You know what I'm saying? Like, people's lives are at stake. That's not something that you could just, I think I want to be here today. I don't want to be here tomorrow. Like, that's not, you're in it to win it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I just knew that was already the first issue. And then secondly, a bunch of stuff started happening with the school. as far as like increasing tuition and some board member meetings that didn't go the way that they were supposed to. And essentially what ended up happening is they were like, listen, like, we're going to increase your tuition 30 grand a semester more.
On top of what you was already going to pay?
What I already had, bro. And everything had already cleared. Like everything had already cleared as far as my loans and stuff. And they increased the tuition. And I was like, you're wild. It was the craziest situation ever. So essentially what happened was I was like, okay, they gave me some time to like, all right, think about what we just told you and let us know what you're about to do next.
Who's
right?
they?
So
Who's they? When you say
the
they?
The board,
Okay.
University of Maryland's board.
Got it.
Because they brought us in kind of like one by one. It was insane. So essentially what happened was they were like, all right, this is the scenario. Let us know like what you want to do. And I was like going home. I was sweating, bro. I was like, this is crazy. It's like the craziest
This is
life-changing
shit we're talking about, bro.
Yeah, I'm like, this is insane. I was like, how in the world am I going to make this happen? So I was like, let me revisit this nonprofit stuff, bro. Let me see what's going on. You know what I mean? I was like, maybe there's something there. Like I never really looked into why I was curved, but I was like, if I can make myself more of, I guess, a candidate, to say, I didn't even know that it had to be like that, but I was like, let me see what we could do. So I'm like thinking about all this stuff. I'm like, yo, do I go back to school? Like whatever, let's just give it another shot with this nonprofit thing. So I started reading these rules, regulations. I actually had one of my mentors who I didn't know that started a nonprofit before. So I got him involved as an advisor. And so he was telling me, do this, don't do that, blah, blah. So I like really got serious about it. And that's when I said I brought Junior and Will in. And then as soon as we applied, they got back and they're like, congratulations, like you've been accepted.
It's crazy.
And they were like, yeah. So from now I have a whole entire shift of the way I'm thinking. I'm like, okay, now this whole med school thing isn't working out and I'm getting accepted to the nonprofit space. So like, is this the direction I'm supposed to go in?
Yeah.
So that's really how it kind of happened, bro. It was just like a pivot. One thing wasn't working out. And, I always follow where the passion is, and my passion was in the nonprofit space. So that's where this all came from, man.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like that first time when they denied you, that was a blessing in disguise. They kind of, they made you kind of teach yourself and learn what you needed to do to keep moving forward. And then that's what happened. So, that door closed, but other doors and other opportunities kept opening for you guys, which is amazing. And you did mention, so I know that Will and Junior, they were your friends before your co-founders, right?
Right.
So how has that impacted your guys' like relationship and friendship working together from like being like close friends, best friends to now like partners?
Yeah, that's an excellent question. I think that, I've always been somebody that even takes, like people always tell me like, bro, like we're kicking it right now. Like we're homies. You don't always have to bring business into it. And that was before I even started a business or did anything. That was just always something that like, I just always thought there was like deeper conversation that can be had with your boys, So that's what we always kind of talked about. It wasn't like a dream, like, yo, we're going to all be co-founders. We're going to work together one day. But it wasn't any of that, but it was like we were always picking each other's minds.
Having
about, like,
ideas and stuff.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. What do you think about this? What do you think about that? So as far as like really getting it solid, like on paper, there wasn't much that really like affected anything because we always talked about stuff. It's just things got really serious, right? It wasn't like, all right, turn it down now. We're chilling. You don't have to talk about that. It was like, nah, we got work to do, So like, as far as the whole relationship aspect of stuff, it was always the same, except we started taking it more serious, and we knew that, it's just so weird being in this space though, because you have so many people that are depending on you as far as like your internal team members, but then you have the community also depending on you. And then you have the people who are supposed to be being helped depending on you too.
Exactly.
So there's a lot that goes into stake, and it's like, we're friends at the end of the day, but like, come on, this is the reality of the situation. Like we need to lock in and get some stuff done.
Yeah. Essentially, y'all are basically event planners, like in a way, y'all are event planners for two different parties. Literally, like you just said, like not only you're an event planner for, whoever needs to be helped, but you're an event planner for the other nonprofit, that's putting up the money or whatever to make it happen. So that's a lot of pressure. So, So speaking with like pressures and stuff like that, I just want to say, shout out to Will and Junior, because I think like I love to put myself in different people's shoes and stuff like that. Just to, if you think about it, like what are the odds that you have two roommates or two good friends that want to jump on that literally life-changing move with you? Because like this isn't no stuff like, oh, I just started this job, I can leave it, stuff like this. This is like we're in it for the long haul. You know what I'm saying? Like this is going to be attached to you basically forever. That's how I look at it. And like they're on board with you. They're both co-founders. Like that is dope, because I don't know if I could do that with my friends. You know what I'm saying? So that's dope as shit, yo.
Yeah, nice. I appreciate them, man. They do a lot. So
for sure.
Yeah, I appreciate them for sure.
Because the way I look at it is basically, literally, not even basically, you're literally running your own business. You know what I'm saying? And I'm assuming Junior special is better at something than you are, and vice versa, which you and Will. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%.
Because how I move is like, I'd rather be the dumbest person in the room. I'm not saying you the dumbest person in the room, but like, if I got people that know how to do this and know how to do that, that's gonna make us that much stronger. You know what I'm saying? That's dope. That's dope.
The diversity and the different perspectives that you gain, like Correy, you said you were in the medical field, you knew nothing about business. But I think if I can remember correctly, Junior was in the School of Business, so he had that business aspect. I'm not sure about Will. I know he went to ODU, but just like having those different perspectives and mindsets come together into like this thing that like blew up, and you guys are just moving mountains. I mean, it's incredible to see the support that you guys get, especially from like the VCU alum. Shout out to everyone. Like when I see everyone supporting the events and going to like the fun events, like what is it called? The New Year's Eve one,
right?
The Puso Foundation. I mean, it's incredible.
That was tough.
Yeah, like shout out to the VCU community, because y'all have been holding us down. Like it's so funny because like you said, Will went to ODU, right? So the ODU community is like in and out, shaky warrior, but like when we do something, VCU community definitely has our back. So this would not be, I mean, we have a long way to go, but none of this would be possible without all of the community, but VCU community in particular has been holding us down. So it's been love.
Yeah. That event. Did you just say feel the wind? Huh? Did you say
go Rams, bro?
Oh, I thought you said feel the wind. I was like, damn, I feel that shit. All right, so while running your nonprofit, what is something that you've learned about yourself that you didn't know about yourself going into this whole, field, or running your own nonprofit?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that I learned about myself is that I was boxing myself before, as far as everything goes, as far as like the amount of tasks that I thought I could handle on a day-to-day basis, the amount of people I thought that I could speak to on a day-to-day basis, like the growth and stuff that I kind of saw myself plateauing at. I thought that there would be normal growth that could happen. Those would definitely be the biggest things, because there's so many challenges that come with running any type of business, right? But the main thing is like, how many hats can you wear at once and not tell anybody you're wearing those hats, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, so for me, it's like I learned so much about the fact that not everybody has to know you're doing this, you're doing that, whatever. Like, it doesn't matter. Just get it done. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, just get it done. Don't talk about it. Don't tell so-and-so about it. You don't got to complain about this, whatever. I mean, it's always cool to get stuff off your chest and stuff, but it's like, that's what you basically signed up for, right? Like, how many hats can you take on? And I didn't know I could take on as many, that I've been able to, with doing this whole startup stuff. But that's probably the number one thing that I learned. Is like, I was like, there's no way I could do this, right? That's what I thought.
Yeah, I'm so glad you're shedding light on that, because as a person who kind of just, as a third party person who's just like looking into nonprofits, we see you guys like executing smoothly, running these campaigns smoothly, but we don't know what goes on behind the scenes, the different hats you wear, how many hours of work and planning you guys put into it. So that's awesome. But so what would you say to somebody, like what advice would you give to someone who is trying to start their own nonprofit organization, but they don't know where to start?
Yeah, I think the number one thing that I would start with saying is that, a lot of people think that you may have to have a certain type, status about yourself, or you may have to have a certain X amount of dollars in your account or something like that in order to make something shake. One of the biggest things that, you know, I always touched on is there's a lot of people out here that are seeking access to something that you may have, right? You provide some type of value proposition that could get you up and running way faster than you ever thought. I know that, you know, from Hearts of Empowerment standpoint, we started it with $0 in the account. There wasn't a dollar that we had, and we were in charge of planning a New Year's Eve event, right? How do you talk to a venue? How do you, like, you know what I'm saying?
Crazy.
Like all that stuff.
Yeah.
That was like the first thing that we ever wanted to do was the New Year's event. And that was like the announcement of Hearts of Empowerment. And, you know, Puso was still fairly new too. So it wasn't like, you know, they were rolling in dough or any of that type of stuff. So it was really like, how can we leverage whatever relationships we have in order to make something work? And so that's what I like to tell people a lot, is that it doesn't matter about the dollar amount. It doesn't matter about anything. If you have like the passion for it and you have any type of leverage, whether it's access to millennials, whether it's, I don't even know, it's something so simple that somebody is looking for from a business owner's aspect, that they're like, oh, you can bring me this? Like, okay, like I'll take care of you. And then on the back end, like, you know, deals are worked out and stuff. So that's definitely one thing. Another thing I would say too is that like a nonprofit and for-profit are not that far off from each other, outside of the fact that obviously nonprofit is so regulated and stuff, and your money has to be spent on mission-driven things. But I would say, you know, a lot of for-profit business owners and stuff always are scared to enter this nonprofit space, but it really is exactly like a startup. And so I would encourage people to at least look into different ways or avenues in this nonprofit space, because a lot of people need help, and there's a lot of people that are capable of helping, but kind of turn their back because of the word nonprofit. So it's definitely, you know, money is never the motive for anything that happens, but I would encourage people to start, you know, researching a little bit more about nonprofits and finding out, you know, the amount of help that really is needed in this community.
Mhm.
To go back to like a question that I just asked, basically about like what you learned about yourself. So it sounds like you've had a humbling experience, and within today's, you know, society, you know, the word or the term mental health has had a lot of spotlight, you know. So with that being said, like you yourself, like I say, I see a lot of you and me and vice versa type shit. I would like to know, as far as, you know what I'm saying, you've always basically like been that guy, probably high school, college, you know, now and all that stuff. With you starting your own nonprofit, like you said, you started off with $0 in your bank account, and all your friends are going out here, moving to another city, another state, starting, you know, this IT, starting their own company, you know what I'm saying, doing really well. With you let's go with always going with not with the crowd, but I guess doing the popular thing to do. With you doing the nonprofit, which is like the unpopular thing to do, how has that been? You know, just watching your friends, like, let's say, excel in their career, and you're just starting something. You know what I'm saying? Like, what type of troubles have you, I guess, experienced? Like,
yeah, definitely. Mainly it's because of, I think, all the nonprofit shadiness that has been before us, that it's kind of like, number one, like I was mentioning before, it was like boring to give back, right?
It was boring to what?
Boring to give back at one point in time, right?
Yeah.
Like you're handing out water bottles at a 5K race and you think you're doing something, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. And there's nothing wrong with that at all. But at the same time, like, that's kind of the whole spin that everyone thinks when you say like charity, right? So that was like, okay, so I mean, that's kind of cool. Like, I'll volunteer here, you know, here and there. That's kind of what everybody was saying, is like, I'll volunteer whenever you guys need me or whatever. But no one really like took us serious, I would say, until we really started like raising money and showing where the money was going and like all that type of stuff. So it was very unpopular. Like, it was the unpopular thing to do.
For sure.
But at the same time, when you can rest your head at night knowing that you're fulfilling your purpose, it kind of hits a little different, right? You turn your back to all that, and it's like you just keep grinding, and it's like when you see everyone else's reaction, not necessarily your network of people or your community, but when you see the people that you're helping's reaction, it's the thing that continues to motivate you to keep going, regardless of the unpopular things that people may think about either the nonprofit space or just starting a charity instead of this or that or whatever. A lot of those people still are trying to fill some type of void, I would say, that they may have. And so for you to kind of put that in perspective and be like, well, my void has been filled by what I'm doing, so I'm gonna continue that way. That was kind of like always my mentality, going into it, is like, you got this tech business that's doing this, you got this and that that's doing that. But at the end of the day, we're all at the same table rapping about the same stuff, right? That's what it's all about. Like, so I would say that was probably the biggest, trouble, is to like figure out how to navigate in a space that was so unclear to everybody, and just kind of get clarity from myself and from everyone else that was witnessing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, that's crazy that you guys have done so much. And like you said, that it wasn't like a cool thing to do to help out. It was more kind of like, community service hours back in the day. I know,
Right.
like growing up, that's something I had to do, and it was just something like, whatever. But now that it's become into a nonprofit, you got, friends of friends, family members, all joining you on this, journey with you, volunteers where you need it for, especially like I'm seeing for like Thanksgiving, for example. But yeah, what you guys are doing is really amazing. And we appreciate you coming out and, giving us background on you and Hearts of Empowerment. So now, and I have one last question on my end, and that is, what is next for Hearts of Empowerment? What can we see in the future from, short term, next month through the holidays? And then like, where do you see Hearts of Empowerment down 5 years?
Yeah, so Hearts of Empowerment is, our plan is to expand. So right now we are at 18 members that are like in the meat of this, right? Like on the day-to-day, right? Meeting, going over tasks, doing that type of stuff. We've grown a lot, but we're in the process of expanding, and we want to kind of hit college campuses, right? We want to start hitting college campuses, and not like a college outreach type of thing, but essentially what we're trying to do is, the quickest way to expand is the best place where people are still moldable. And I think that's a college campus. That's the epitome of a college campus. People are still looking for opportunities and ways to be able to get real life work experience and stuff. So you'll start to see us getting in some work study programs and things like that on college university campuses, and having college students kind of representing Hearts of Empowerment as somewhat of an ambassador or an employee, quote unquote. So you'll start to see that expand. We're also going to start partnering with a lot of influencers, kind of like a tell us your cause type of thing. So whatever somebody may, have a passion about in the community, we'll be doing the outreach for that charity, reaching out to them, planning an event for them, and really starting to, I guess, own this whole entire, giving back is the cool thing to do. You don't have to, you really don't have to be doing stuff you don't want to do. You can have fun and give back too. And we're just, we're trying to change the game.
Yeah, no, I see you partnering with like individuals too, who are like on a journey themselves. And like, shout out to one of our, VCU friends, Mario Mejia. Didn't he just accomplish Ironman? And he was sponsored by Hearts of Empowerment. So that's, amazing. I know a lot of us have been following his journey to Mexico, and he just accomplished that this week.
Yeah, it was huge. Shout out to Mario, man. He killed it. So that was dope. Yeah. That was dope to witness and be a part of.
That's awesome. Cool. Well, looks like big things coming for Hearts of Empowerment. Everyone should stay tuned. Where can they follow Hearts of Empowerment?
So you can follow us on all major social medias. We're at Hearts of Empowerment on Instagram and Facebook. Twitter is hearts_org. And our LinkedIn is Hearts of Empowerment too. So feel free to follow us and keep up with us. We got a lot of fun things coming up here in the near future. So I'm excited to share it with everybody.
I also want to let my guy get his shit off. So this man was on TV and shit, acting like he wasn't on TV, being humble. You know what I'm saying? Like, so how was it being on the Kelly Wright Show? And like, how did you land that joint? Like, that's crazy.
Yeah. Nah, it was dope, bro. It was definitely dope. Really what ended up happening is like we threw that event with Christian Benjamin a while ago. And that's kind of where this whole entire idea of, tell us your cause and we'll kind of back you and help you kind of do that. So he approached me. He's a pretty big,
Kelly Wright or the Benjamin?
No, Christian Benjamin, who is he's a big I would say he's big in the marketing space as far as he's got some unique business partners like Chad Ochocinco and different people like that, where he's really like exploited the entrepreneur world. And he's somebody that I kind of work with as far as like a mentor type of aspect. And I run some ideas off him and all that type of stuff. So he had a cause that he was passionate about. And so he told us about it. And it was actually, we were throwing an event with the Covenant House kids, he wanted to do like a random pop-up Christmas gift giving thing. And it wasn't even near Christmas, right? So it was just, I guess, gift giving to all the kids in Covenant House, right? So he was like, yo, like, this is the idea I got. Like, can you make it happen? And I was like, yeah, for sure. Like, meanwhile, I had no idea what we were gonna do.
It's like, you're talking to, bro. Like, I got this. Whole time you like,
I'm like, hold up, bro. I like, you want to spend how much to do what with?
Hey, Junior, Will, what you trying to
do? Yeah, bro. So we ended up like,
make it happen.
Exactly. We ended up working that out, and with him, being a huge part of the DC community, growing up the way that he did and stuff, he was kind of one of those people that everybody saw was going to make it, but just didn't know, what was going to happen or how he was going to do it. So when he kind of made it to the situation that he, is in and decided to give back to the community, it was a big deal to everyone in the DC community. And so Kelly Wright had been following him before. So when he saw that we partnered with him and that, we were doing all this stuff, he did an interview with Christian Benjamin. And he didn't mention arts of empowerment or any of that type of stuff. He just wanted to see kind of what this really was. So he invited Christian Benjamin. Christian Benjamin went on and, started talking to him about it. And then like afterwards, after the event happened, we were like, yo, that's kind of dope, bro. You're on Kelly Wright Show. Like, congrats, like, blah, 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 all this stuff. And then like after the event happened, I remember the next morning, I think it was, I had an invitation in my email. I was like, hey, congratulations. Like, we want to invite you to the Kelly Wright Show. We were watching and we saw that you were able to successfully do this, this, and this. Like, let's talk about it. So then I got that invite and I was like, man, this is dope. You know what I mean? So I went in like this full green screen thing and it was awesome. Yeah. So it was like, and there was a bunch of like influential people in the DC area that was there that I got to connect with, that I'm still working on projects and stuff with for the future. So it was a really, really good situation for us to get into.
For sure. Being in that space, and you've only y'all launched in 2019, right?
Yeah, so we're coming up on our soft. No, actually last weekend. So yeah, like a couple of days ago, that was like our 2-year. So we're on our sophomore. I mean, we're about to be on our junior year now.
Nice.
You right now. Y'all was in 2018. What am I talking about? Because I went to 2 New Year's Eve joints. Dang, time flies, bro.
And we did a Thanksgiving joint. Yeah, 2 New Year's joints, and then we did 2 Thanksgiving joints. Crazy, right?
Time going wild, man.
We were talking about that too. A couple of our friends were like, damn, it's COVID. Like, they probably won't host another event this year because of it.
I know. We haven't made the official announcement yet, but yeah, you heard it here first.
You might do something?
Nah, no countdown for calls. We haven't made the official announcement that we're canceling. But
hey, you might as well make it here, bro. Let's get these views up, bro. What up?
No, there's no countdown for calls this year, man. I'm sick about it, but
true. That's all good. I would have been catching Torque with a mask on and shit.
Hey, you wild.
All right.
That's awesome. Thanks for sharing your story with Hearts of Empowerment. On my end, I have no other questions regarding the nonprofit. Dom, do you?
Nah, I think we're good on a nonprofit. Let's switch some things up. What you got, Marcina?
Yeah, no, I think it'd be a little bit wrong if we don't talk about Thanksgiving the day before Thanksgiving.
Yes, sir.
We're going out tonight, but Corey, what's Thanksgiving looking like for you this year? Family, no family?
I'm ready. You at? It is family. I am around family. We're in Charleston right now. My family just moved down here. So this is our first Thanksgiving down here in Charleston while they're actually like residents living here. So I'm super excited. My grandma and my aunt came in town. I got my cousin coming too. So we definitely gonna throw down. We definitely gonna throw down with the fam. So I'm excited for that.
Have you already started trying like baking stuff and
Oh, of course.
all that?
Don't say, hey, Messina, don't say y'all, say they, because Correy not cooking.
Facts, you know that. Hey, facts.
Not even.
What'd you say? Not even what?
I said not even one dish.
Nah,
Oh,
he eating dishes.
Responsible for
Yeah,
one.
nah, I'm good.
Hey, speaking of eating dishes, what's 5 things you gotta have on your plate tomorrow, bro?
5 things I gotta have. I gotta have stuffing,
Yes, sir.
right? I gotta have sweet potatoes.
Yes, sir.
I gotta have. See, I don't really like turkey like that, to be honest.
It's all good.
Yeah, I gotta have some type of chicken, though. I gotta have some type of chicken. Everybody knows too that like chicken tenders is my like that's it for me, right? You give me some chicken tenders, but it's a wrap. Like
We
that's
lit.
it.
Ruth
That's
Chris
it. So,
chicken tenders. What's up?
yeah, so I'm gonna have to I'm gonna have to have some chicken tenders on my Thanksgiving plate.
Yep.
Some rolls for sure. Need the rolls.
4.
That's 4. Probably top it off with we going to dessert too. That count or not?
Yeah.
Hey, it's your plate, bro.
Oh, it's my plate.
If you don't want no mac and cheese, it's all good. You
I
know
hate mac and cheese, bro. I don't even like. I'm wild.
I was rolling with you until you said no mac and cheese.
This whole podcast episode out.
Nah, no mac and cheese for me, dog. It's
So what's the 5th?
I'm gonna have
you
to go with
pie and shit.
What'd you say?
You getting some pumpkin pie or something?
Yeah, I don't even want pumpkin pie. I want the last joint to be good. I like collard greens. We're gonna throw some collard greens on there. Yeah, we're gonna throw some collard greens and we're gonna call it a day. Got you.
Ain't bad.
I need like 3 plates though. I'm gonna need like 3.
Oh, you about to go crazy.
How many plates y'all eating? Marcina, how many plates you about to eat?
So I eat one and then I take a nap, like a break. I'll just sit there looking at the food. And I'll be like, all right, I can keep going. And then the break comes with like maybe a 30, 45-minute nap. And then at the end of the day, yeah, keep it going.
Hey, Dom, what about you? What you want?
She got to watch her figure and shit.
It's for the games. Tomorrow we're just eating.
I feel you.
Itis, that's what they call it. Itis, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna definitely have an itis. I'm definitely gonna eat 2 plates for sure. Like I'm a to-go plate guy. I'm gonna eat 2 plates and I'm gonna take 3 home off the river. You know what I'm saying? We taking 3 home because I don't live where my parents live. I live in Arlington and shit. But yeah, I'm gonna have to take.
I was gonna be my next question. Like, are you getting it at home?
Facts.
So wait, let me ask you: when you take the plates like home, how long you eating leftovers? Like when is leftovers like a no-go? Like you can't eat them no more.
After the weekend, I would say.
All right, give me days though, Marcina. Give me days. So you eating it on Thursday. When's the last day you eating the junk?
Probably like Saturday. Saturday night, it's like 48 hours.
Shit.
Yeah.
I'm eating that joint Monday. That's probably Monday? I might go Monday or Tuesday, for real.
That's how you won't be oldie.
Hey, I'm still alive. Y'all can talk y'all shit. I'm still alive.
Hey, Monday, you might be wilding, bro.
Hey,
that's a little OD.
We good, bro. We still, alive and thriving. So we good, bro.
How to meal prep his leftovers Monday through Friday next week.
Facts. Like, I'm remixing shit. Like, say if I got turkey, I'm eating turkey with rice and beans, bro. We gonna crush something.
Something getting crushed.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, if it's there, I'm eating it.
Hey, you going wild, son.
So got 2 questions for you.
Yes,
I know
sir.
you're a big LeBron fan. You don't gotta give it to me in a specific order, but I need to hear your top 5 NBA players. What we doing?
Of all time or right now?
All time.
Ooh, I was waiting on this. All right, so in no order, you said in order.
If whatever you want to do, it's your world, my guy.
All right, say less. So top 5 players of all time, right? I'm going LeBron's in there for sure.
Okay.
At number 1.
Oh, okay.
At number 1, that's clear. That's clear to me. I'm going Michael Jordan. I like Kareem. I'm liking Kareem. I'm gonna see. I like top 5 all time too. I'm liking I think Shaq's in the top 5, bro. No one really says that. That's like low-key, like washed out. But I think Shaq was very, very dominant, son. The 5th though, I'm gonna go with The fifth, I'm going with Kobe.
It's solid.
Got
It's
to.
solid. I think we got the
I got
same 5, but I'm taking Kobe out. I'm putting Magic at the 5, and I'm putting Jordan at the 1 and LeBron at the 2.
I mean, I could.
This is why I'll make it quick, simple. I ain't gonna break it down to science and all that. This is why I got Jordan ahead of LeBron. Minute.
Don't hurt my heart before you say that.
No, I ain't about to say nothing. I ain't about to say nothing. It's simple as this. It's a minute, right? Your team down by 3. Who you got more faith in to lead you to the victory, LeBron or Jordan?
Bro, I'm going LeBron.
You got multiple possessions. I'm not even going to say the last shot. Fuck the last shot. But if it's a minute to go, you know your man's going to get at least 2 possessions. So you saying you?
Oh, that's easy. You made it even easier.
And you got LeBron?
I'm going LeBron, bro. But Jordan's
gonna make it happen.
Jordan's 3-point jump shot was not even like that. To be completely honest, it wasn't even like it wasn't like
I'm gonna shut your argument up. I'm gonna shut your argument up.
You're giving him a little.
Listen to this though. When LeBron shoots and he makes it 3, don't you get OD hype? But like, this is my thing. When he makes it 3, if he the best player ever, we shouldn't be OD hype. Like when LeBron makes 2 threes, it's like, oh shit, he lit. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, I can't give him the go.
Bro, LeBron takes a dribble, I'm getting hype. Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what the guy does.
When he makes a jump shot, I'm like, oh shit, okay. You know what I'm saying? I'm more surprised than hype sometimes when he make a 3.
Nah.
LeBron's my guy though, but I like to be a realist. Not saying you are, but in my mind, I'm being a realist. I'll give it to Jordan. He got it. You know what I'm saying?
I can't do that yet.
Well, you'll never do it if you got him at 1. Because
he
probably gonna fuck around and win again.
The only way that I could ever see myself putting Jordan over LeBron is if LeBron doesn't get another one before he retires. So but I know he's going to.
So you just said no. Fuck that potential shit because he could get hurt. You just said Jordan's number 1 then.
No. LeBron's still number 1 because of potential. I got to put everything in. Potential is always there, bro. And I'm like always looking. Bro, you gotta put your money down where the odds are the highest. And
I'm putting sound crazy though. You got it.
The potential is crazy, and he's already there. I think.
Well, what about this? What if he wins another ring, and he doesn't get MVP? You still gonna think he you know?
Oh yeah, bro.
So it don't even matter if he don't get MVP.
That's not even a question for Corey.
Yeah, fact. That's what I'm saying. It's like it doesn't. Right now, it's a debate. If he gets another one, it's not even a debate. It's gonna go crazy. It's gonna be ridiculous. Like I don't be partying no more. Really, I don't be going out like that. I'm throwing a party, bro. It's going crazy. And it's gonna be LeBron over Michael pregame of the year.
You gonna feel like you won a championship.
Oh, dude.
Corey gonna throw a parade and shit. Whole time it's a nonprofit. Nonprofit event parade.
Yes, sir. Gotta do it.
All right. So last question. Short and sweet. How do you want to be remembered?
I want to be remembered as the dude who was persistent enough to overcome whatever odds that may, come against me, and not blink about it twice. So I want to be remembered as that guy who, let me run it back to, I want to be remembered as that guy who fulfilled his purpose and overcame all the odds that, were ever put against him without blinking twice.
I like that. That boy was ready for the question. Damn.
In other words, he's trying to be legendary is what he's saying.
Hey. Nah, it's a lot that goes into, wanting to do some stuff. And if people can't push through that, it's tough. It's tough. So as long as you can be remembered for that purpose, fulfilling your purpose and not blinking about it, I think we're gonna be good.
That's what's up.
Like right there.
At our age, we're all around the same group. Like that's something that I'm trying to, find within myself. Like I'm have a career and all that stuff, but like each and every day, I'm like really pounding on trying to find my purpose. That's pretty dope and inspiring that you believe or you know that you found your purpose in it. Each and every day you're inching towards, you know, greatness. So that's pretty dope. More power to you, my brother.
I appreciate that, man. Yeah, I have another announcement coming up pretty soon too that you guys will see. With some other jazz that I'm getting ready to announce as far as startups and companies and stuff goes. So I'm definitely trying to maneuver the best way that I can, but you know, I got a lot of work to do. But we ready.
Yes, sir. Let's get to it then. Shit.
We'll be on the lookout for the announcement.
All right. Just want to say thank you for coming through and showing up. You know what I'm saying? It definitely means a lot. Definitely wanted to, you know, get an interview with you a minute ago, but I just wanted to make sure it was the right time. I think, you know, around Christmas time, I think this was the perfect time, you know, because nonprofits are, you know, excelling, especially around the holidays, you know what I'm saying? So that's pretty dope. Definitely want to shed some light on that. And we already got your, you know, your IGs and stuff like that. We'll put it on the bottom, your IG and your you know, all your social media handles and your website, partsofempowerment.org. I think that's about it for me. You got anything, Rashina?
No, just thanks so much for, you know, sharing your stories, sharing Hearts of Empowerment. And everyone's going to be on the lookout for the announcements. And even though this is the first time we had you on the show, it won't be the last. That's for sure.
Oh, for sure. You got to come on a panel. This is
Yeah.
just an introduction.
I can't wait. I appreciate y'all. I've been watching the podcast, so I know that y'all are, you know, juicing right now. And like I said, what y'all are doing is dope. Keep going. And I'm so happy to be invited and that I was able to talk to y'all for a little bit. So can't wait till the next time. I'll be on the lookout.
All right, cool. And it's a wrap in the trap. Thank you for watching. Talk to me. All right, word.